Hello fashion bosses, how are you doing today? Awesome. All right, so always a delight for me to be in your face all the time. In today's class, we are going to be teaching us, okay, how to make the beautiful circle top you saw on the thumbnail. All right, so without further ado, we'll just go straight into the class. So this is the fabric that we are using for the project. Okay, I'd already gone ahead to fold it into four. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is actually doubled. Okay, the length of the blouse is long. Okay, and you know African prints, also known as Ankara, comes in 46 inches, but the length of this blouse is about 27. So if you fold Ankara into two, the highest length we get is 23 thereabouts. Okay, so we couldn't use the square way of folding. Okay, hence we are using the triangular way of folding. Thank God there are alternatives. Okay, so I folded, first of all, folded into two like this. Okay, and then I came to this tip and I folded it like this. All right, so that's how I can achieve this triangular folding. Peradventure this is your first time, you know, in this channel, you don't know how to fold your fabric to give you your circle flay, either the 360 degree or the 180 degree. This is actually the 180 degree way of folding a flay. Okay, so welcome. You done this, we are going to get a radius at this point because the circle flay, and then I'm also going to have some pleats in front to make it fuller. Okay, we may not be using some technicalities we ought to have used if we're doing a proper flay and radius measurements and all of those. So I'm just going to come to the tip of my fabric, which is here. Okay, and then I'll measure 15 inches down. This is my 15 inches. I'm just going to go about rotating my tape roll and then marking out 15 inches. Okay, whilst still leaving my tape roll at the tip of my fabric. Okay, so I'll keep rotating my fabric and then mark out my 15 inches. Right, after marking, I'm just going to connect my dotted lines together. So this is it. So from this line now, we are going to measure the length of the dress. The length of the dress is 28 inches, 27 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance because we are going to be turning it with a lining. Okay, so it makes it 28 inches. So if you are familiar with off shoulders, okay, what we are going to do is, I haven't gotten this line, so assume that is an off shoulder. So what we are going to be deducting at the end of the day is a 5 inches, or what we are going to be attaching as strapped sleeve, which is the sleeve. The sleeve is that kind of spaghetti strap. Okay, we are going to be using the -5 inches method, like an off shoulder. Okay, but before we get there, I'm just going to place my tape roll here. Okay, and then measure the length of my fabric, the length of the blouse. The length of the blouse, I said earlier, is 28 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance inclusive. So please watch carefully. I'll bring out my 5 inches this way. I'll put my tape on 5 inches. Okay, because this is what we're going to be using for the sleeve. Okay, I'll place it this way on this radius line, and then I'll measure the length of my blouse, which is 27 inches. Okay, 28 inches. So I'll be moving my tape roll while measuring my 28 inches. I'll be moving my tape roll, okay, and then I measure my 28 inches. It's not difficult. Okay, if you're having challenge understanding this, just go through the video over and over again. You will definitely get it. Okay, so I'll just keep rotating it this way till I get to the end of my fabric, like this. Okay, so here we are, 28 inches. Okay, and then I'll connect the marks together. After connecting, we are just going to cut it off. The way we'll come to the upper part and then cut off this part also. All right, so this is our flame. This part right now is our neckline. Okay, this part right now is our neckline, and this is the length of the blouse. This part is the center front of the blouse. Okay, so we are going to get our armhole now. I'll just come in here. Please note the part where we are getting the armhole is this part that is opened, not this part that is folded. Hope you understand. This part that is folded is the center front. This should be a guideline for you. Then this part that is open is the side of your blouse. Hope you understand. And that is where your armhole is going to fall on. So I'll just come in here by 2.5 inches. Please kindly note this. 2.5 inches. All right, and then I'll come down by 2.5 inches or 3 inches. Kindly note that we have already brought out 5 inches, you know, on the upper part, like you're making an off shoulder. Hope you understand this. So the armhole of this project is 8 inches. Being that you brought out 5 inches, you are left with 3 inches to complete your 8 inches, which is your armhole, half of your armhole circumference. Kindly note that. That is what we have here. So this is from here to here right now is our armhole. Okay, so I'm just going to connect it. I'm just going to connect it like this. That way. Okay, so that's the armhole. So whatever you have here on your fabric, you use it to cut your lining. Hope you understand. But if I cut the armhole, I'm just going to open this part. Okay, and then I'll cut off the armhole. So this is the armhole. So when you open your fabric or your blouse, so we have it opened right now. Okay, you see how full it is. All right, this part right now, this is the neckline. It's going to be a little wide. So what I will do is to pleat it to the size of my shoulder. Okay, my across chest measurements. Across chest measurement is measurement from one part of your armhole to the other part of your armhole in front. Okay, like as though you're making an off shoulder. Please, if you do not know how to make an off shoulder, kindly contact me so I can put you through properly and explicitly. So I'm going to pleat it, okay, till it falls or reduces to the length of my shoulder. Hope you can see how beautiful it looks when pleated. Okay, I'm going to pleat it, but I'm going to show you the process. Do not worry. So I'm just going to use this right now to cut my lining. But before I do, I also want you to know that it's going to be an high-low kind of top. The back panel is going to be a little higher than the front panel. So that means that we are going to reduce the front panel a little. Okay? So we can just pick any one out of this and use it as our front panel. So I just pick one. Okay? I'll fold it into two. Make sure everything is properly aligned. Okay, you can pin down if need be, and then I will reduce it by the inches of how low I want my front panel to be. So I'm just going to reduce it by, let me say, 4 inches. Okay, I'll come up by 4 inches, or I use 3.5. So I'm going to, this is the front panel and this is the center front. That's where I'm working on right now. And then I'll just look for a way to blend it with this angle. Okay, I'll just do some slight curve around that area, something like this. However you are comfortable with is what you should do. No hard and fast rule about it. And then I'm going to trim off the spots. This way. And then we'll place it back on the panel so you see what it looks like. This is what we have. If you notice, the sides are still equal. Okay, do not make that mistake of trimming everything. The sides are still equal so that when you want to join, your sides are equal. Okay, so this is the frontal part. The other sides are still very much equal. Okay, so that is for that. I'm going to cut this out with my use this to cut my lining, and then I will get back to us. All right. I also want to show you another way you can fold on bias. Okay, this is the fabric. You just fold it like this diagonally, not straight like this. Okay, diagonally. This is how to fold a bias. Okay, so I'm giving you another option. Okay, diagonally like this, and then you are cutting like this. It also works very well. You want to tidy up the hems of garments. You know, you don't have bias, already made bias at your disposal. You just fold your fabric or any fabric you want to use diagonally like this, and you want to make a band for your skirts, your pants, trousers. Is best folded diagonally or in bias form. Okay, hope this helps someone out there. So I just measure 2.5 inches on fold, then when I open up it gives me my 5 inches, right? So after cutting out your bias, you will then fold it 0.5 inch and iron. You fold the other side by 0.5 inch and iron all the way, and then bring them together like this. Okay, this is what we want to achieve, and then we have our 2 inches on points. Okay, hope you got this. This is how to make a bias. You fold it inwardly by 0.5 inch. Because the fabric is big, if it was a smaller fabric, you should be folding in by 0.25. Okay, but please use any seam allowance that you're comfortable with. Okay, fold it in like this, iron it down. You do the same to the other side, iron down, and then you bring both of them together and iron. So this is what you're going to be using to tidy up the neckline of our top, and then also using it to make our strapped sleeve, right? All right guys, so we are going to join this piece together now. So I'll bring my back panel. Okay, I'll place it this way. This is the right side of the fabric, this is the back panel. All right, I'll also lay my front panel this way, right side of the fabric facing the right side of the fabric, this way. Okay, so this is the neckline. So I'm going to bring them together this way, and then I'm going to sew the side down using a 0.5 inch. Okay, sew the side down, and then sew the other side down using a 0.5 inch. Okay, I will do the same to the lining, and then I will get back to us. So guys, we are done joining the side. We are going to use our lining to turn it right about now. Okay, so I'll just open it up like this, right front of the fabric facing the right front of the lining, the right side of the lining. We are turning the bottom, the flap parts. Okay, make sure everything is properly aligned. So make sure that I pin my side seams together. Okay, then you can go around pinning it round if you want to, but if you do not want to pin it round, you think you can work with it like that, okay, you can also go ahead to do it. So after securing the down part, you now take it to your sewing machine and sew round. Okay, you are sewing round the bottom part, you sew it round. All right, round, and then notch. Okay, you're sewing here round at the bottom part. So hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, we're using the lining to turn the fabric. So after sewing, we'll come back. Okay guys, so we've sewn, I have sewn round the edges. I've also gone ahead to notch. Okay, if you can see the cut for relaxation when we turn. Okay, so ensure that you notched yours as well. So we're just going to bring it out like this. And arrange it properly. Our circle top is almost done. Okay, you give it a very good ironing. Give it a very good ironing. So this is what we have. This is what we have. Iron it properly so it will look neat and fine. Okay, see that the back side is longer than the front. The back one is longer than the front panel. That's what we actually wanted to achieve. So that's for that. Right about now, you will take it to your sewing machine this way and hold this part of the lining that is dangling around this neck area. You just use your sewing machine to hold it down because you are going to use a bias to turn this part. Okay, we're going to use a bias to finish this part rather. All right, just hold it down. All right guys, so I've pinned my lining to the neckline to hold it in place. I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and sew all the way around the neckline area down to the armhole. Okay, to the back side, to the armhole, to hold the lining in place for me. Okay, so the next thing for us to do, I told you guys that we are going to pleat, give it a few pleating. Okay, I'm pleating both the front and the back. I'll just come to the center front and then pleat it this way. This should not be difficult for you, right? I'll pleat. Okay, while taking my shoulder measurements into consideration. When we are cutting this, I made it a little wider than the shoulder measurement because I needed some pleats around this area. Okay, so I'll just pleat it a little this way, holding that with my pin before taking it to my sewing machine. Okay, while taking my shoulder measurement into consideration. Okay, so one more plate and then we are good. This way. Okay, we also do the same to the back panel. Whatever you pleat here is what you're also going to pleat at the back panel. All right, you do the same to the back panel, and when you are done with your pleats, you reach out for your bias. Remember, I showed us how to make bias earlier in this class. Okay, I'll come for my bias. This is it. This is it. Okay, this is the inner view. I folded it down, folded this part down, and then made it 2 equal halves. Okay, I'll just place it on the neckline. I'll just place it this way. Okay, this way. You can pin it down if you want to. Okay, and then I will sew across it. See, it's looking very beautiful. So sewing it down, you're sewing both the back and the inside together when sewing. Just sew it down this way, okay? So you get to the end of your neckline like that. You cut it off and do the same to the back side. When we are done with that, I'm going to come back and show you how to proceed. Alright guys, so we are going to show you how to fix the spaghetti sleeve. Okay, but before I do that, I have to bring your attention to something. So remember, the band we had on this neckline was bigger, was about 2 inches, okay? But the client that owned this cloth reached out to say she doesn't want the band, almost about the time we were working on it, that she doesn't want the band to be very big, so I had to reduce it to the size you are seeing. Albeit it's still the same process, the same way of creating your bias, okay? All you need to do is just to reduce the width, okay? Nothing difficult, okay? It's just reducing the width, the size, basically, okay? Hope you get that. So how do we fix the sleeve? As you can see, I've already fixed this part, okay, but I'd like to show you how to go about this. So I have this as my bias, okay? This is the size at the end of the day, but for now I'll just place it this way because we're also going to use this as the sleeve, the spaghetti sleeve extension. So I open it up, okay, like this, fold it in a little, and then I come to the armhole area. At this point where the armhole is starting from, I'll just place it here like this. Okay. So I'll pin it down, okay, and then I'll sew to the sleeve. But let me show you a quicker method. So you fold your bias into two like this, okay? So your bias is ready basically just like this, okay? So it's like this, okay? You just place it here, the armhole area. You place it and then you sew it just like that. After sewing, remember the sleeve is supposed to be 5 inches. That was what we took out when we were doing the measurements, you know, from the upper side when we're trying to get the neckline. We took out 5 inches. So we bring out the 5 inches here. 5 inches for the back, for the front, 5 inches for the back. So altogether is 10. So half at 10, somewhere around there, okay? And then after you have measured that it is 10 inches, you just continue it. It's not difficult, there is no hard and fast rule, okay? Just place your bias like this, okay? You bring out your 10 inches, bring out your 10 inches, okay? And then you continue it here. When you are sure that this is your 10 inches, you now continue it here, okay? The same way. You can pin it down like this, okay? Before taking it to your sewing machine to run your stitches. Okay, and then you finish it up here, okay? So basically, finish it up there under the armhole, and then you sew it down, okay? It's not difficult at all. You take it to your sewing machine and then you sew it down. You sew it down along this area to close up your bias so you get to the done. Basically, that's how to fix the sleeve. And as you can see, it's the same with this other sleeve. Alright, so if you know this video has been helpful to you in any way, please do not go away without subscribing, liking, sharing, give it a thumbs up, and look forward to our next video. Bye bye for now.